Alright, I think we're live. Everybody ready to go to sleep? That's good. Electro Rep, Teresa, Martin, Ryan, Clebo. Alrighty. Everybody's in their pajamas, ready to earn their PhDs in failure. Because we don't have 10 million subscribers. Failure. Anyway, enough with the stupidity. Might as well just get straight into work. This is the 1990 that we were working on the other day, and we forgot to replace the, what did we? Needs left-hand side USB-C port. Wait, this has got a left-hand side USB. It just need a replacement. I think that's what it meant. Yeah. So we've got to disassemble the whole damn thing again, just to put a new port in it. Hey, let us repair. Osis, Miles. They're not your minions, Miles. They're mine. It's trying to claim what is not yours. You haven't earned the right to be abused yet by your minions. Yeah. So we'll just get this out of the way so then I can stick it on the outbound stack so that it's not clogging up the workshop anymore. Now it took a couple of extra days because I ran out of replacement USB-C ports, so I've ordered a couple more at fairly extreme prices. That's what happens when you don't have enough stock on hand. You get forced to have to buy domestically, and it's relatively more expensive, but that's okay, it was my mistake. Hey Q's, we're just first fixing up some stuff that I need to fix up that isn't actually a repair, but it'll give time for people to show up. I know some people can replace these ports without actually taking the main board out. I prefer not to quite go that extreme when it comes to board bending. I mean, yeah, you can probably do it, but it's not something I would like to do on a machine that's already repaired and ready to go back, so the last thing I want to do is give it a good old flex and crack it somewhere. Hey Shane, stuff from Brizzy. You doing repairs down there, Shane, or are you just something else? I see we've sent one of our cyclones down to you. Hope you enjoy that. It's kind of interesting to see the cyclones don't really stick around up north too much more. At least not around here. It's almost like the cyclones find it too hot up here now. Oh, you're starting out with repairs? Oh, that's good. Anything in particular you specialising in, or sort of like trying everything? Are you on the Sunshine Coast? Or was someone else I was talking to? Hey Jason, this is yours, Jason. Coffee time. Yeah, I've had my coffees for the day. Yeah, I went to ship this to you, Jason, and then I realised that the left-hand USB-C port was dodgy, so I'm replacing it. Visually, it didn't look that bad from the side view, but when we were connecting power to it, it didn't work so well. Yeah, I know you're on the Sunshine Coast. I know you are, Jason. That really... It's only... Okay, it's got one defect on it, but it's an important defect, I think. Oh, that's right, Narangba. That's it, north of Brisbane. Right. Malini was my favourite area. Yeah, so... They've had plenty of wear and tear, there's a bit of liquid damage there. Yeah, you could try ultrasonic them, but I don't recommend that. Particularly that we've had some sort of short happening on between the third and fourth pin there. So something went to ground there. The long ones, I believe, usually are ground. So yeah, straight into the trash can. Well, in this case, into the parts bin on the... Yeah, I know you do, Justin, but I just didn't want you to have to disassemble it, redo it, and all that, so I just slipping a new one for you. I mean, you're already busy enough. The last thing you need to do is to have to disassemble a board, get it all back together. Yeah, meanwhile, while your customer's sitting there like going, why wasn't this done before? $2 a.m. for Ryan Labs. Where's that? That'd be the US somewhere, is it? Or in that time zone, at least. Come on. Hey, Dreams. At 10 a.m. in the European area. Right, you're all asleep, and so am I, it seems. There we go. I was wondering why it wasn't sitting flat properly, but you see I blamed it on the new USB-C port. Because when you first put them in, they don't quite have that the fold on them, so they tend to fluff the board up a little bit. But it was actually because the Wi-Fi was caught. It's okay. That's why we double check this stuff. Dun, dun, dun. What's that? West Coast. Oh, Oregon. Ah, Oregon. Okay. Whoa. So Mr. Daniels might need to take it down a little bit on the pace and stop referring to himself in third person. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to try and wind yourself back down. You're just going along with a bit of excessive energy from the day. I already fixed up the truck today and went down to the dump, emptied the truck with a whole bunch of boxes. They're all, when people send the machines to me, the box gets disposed of. Although what happens is I hold the boxes for a few months sometimes until I'm absolutely 100% certain that there's nothing in there that's going to be needed. And it has every now and then happened where I've forgotten that something was in the box, or I didn't see it when it was unpacked. Like sometimes someone might stick a little zip bag of something like in the wrapping rather than on the computer itself, and you don't see it. And it's only when you've finished up everything else and you might make a passing comment about something like, oh, there weren't any screws, or I didn't see a backup drive or something, and that's when they go, oh yeah, it was in the packaging. And you're like, oh hell. And you race outside and you start digging through the boxes. So yeah, that's why I don't throw boxes out too quickly. I let them become mature and rotten outside for a bit, and then when I truly feel like I'm done, I can let it go. I will then take them down to the dump. And then I hope and pray that I don't get any messages from anyone that was involved with one of those boxes. Hey, creature. Hey, Sylvia. Screws in that one. Fair bit of coastal oxidization on this one, of course, Jason, but you knew that. At least it's working. Random bits of cat hair, not my cat hair. Just whoever owned this has a cat. The T-board, we sort of had a little bit of success on that. We managed to get 3V8 back, but there's probably more lines that we need to bring across. The trouble is finding out which lines they are. It's going to be fun. But I'm going to have to message the person and say, look, this is actually going to be an extensive job. So the quote is probably going to go up because it's not really, it's a data recovery type job now. It's not a restore this to normal working order business. If it was able to be repaired with just, if it came up properly with just that 3V8 line being bridged across, then I would have just, said, okay, fine, we'll call that under a normal repair quote. But unfortunately, because now it's demanding more still, then the cost has to go up. And of course, that cost is only applicable if I succeed. So it's a gamble on my side and it's a gamble on their side. Hey, Ruger's Customs. Yeah, there's got to be at least one more line, that much we know. Hopefully not too many more than that. I've carved out that area quite a few times. This is probably the first time that I've not had it start up after clearing. So I'm kind of curious, just where else things are. Now hopefully we don't have to carve back anymore, because you see, okay, we've cleared the PP bus fault, or the V-in fault really, and we've cleared 3V8 enable. But we don't know if there is a short on any of the other signaling lines. So you need more than just simply to reconnect them. You need to make sure that they are also not shorted. Okay. Whew. Hey, Lutak. Yeah, it'd be an easier gamble if I didn't have so much other work to do. And I've been going absolutely gangbusters with FlexBoard View lately. Just really putting everything I can into it to make it so that people don't even think twice about, should I use Board View, or should I stick with Board View, or should I get a FlexBoard View? Like even the free version, that's the funny thing. It's I'm not competing with another financial license type place. I'm basically competing with BoardViewer, which is a free piece of software that probably hasn't been updated in a decade. And it's somewhat frustrating, I must say, because technically FlexBoard View is absolutely winning out on the features there, but you still got to get over that transition threshold for people. And I'm the same. Like, I won't give up a tool that I'm comfortable with for the sake of a few more bling features. It really has to be a big difference for me to switch. Yeah. And so that's what I'm dealing with. And of course you may say, well, what's the point? They're all after free versions anyway. And the point is, it's about people get accustomed to stuff and they get used to stuff, and it becomes a de facto type thing. And at least if people are used to using the free version, Flexboard View, if at some point they do want to upgrade, then it's a very immediate jump for them. They don't have to do anything. How can I say it? They don't have to do any research. They don't have to do. It's just natural for them to go, oh well, I'll just upgrade and get the extra features that I want. That's working. Cool. And as you can see, the port, we're using these ports. We've got 20 volts, 3 amps. So yeah, that's good. We'll check the other one. Should be the same anyway. Again, 20 volts, 3 amps. So that's all fixed. Stick that in the stash of machines to be returned to their rightful owners. Well, good on you, mate. Alright, next job. We have got a second opinion job here. So it's been to a place and they've said it's not fixable, and most likely they're very right, but the customer wants a second opinion. So I'll give it to them. At least the nice thing when it comes to second opinion jobs is that they are already understanding and prepared to pay the price. Like, they will have to pay, if this is not fixed and it genuinely is dead, they're paying $75 for that second opinion. But they're fine to do so, so it's a lot easier this way. Whereas when you transition from a person having the hope that it's fixable, and if it's not, they're going to have to pay $75, then if it isn't fixable and they've got to pay the $75, it feels like a loss to them. It's sort of like they've gone backwards from where they wanted to be. At least if they're going in for a second opinion, they already know that it's going to cost $75, then they're just sort of like, oh well, yeah, it's not so bad. What's this, Jason? Which on is it? What? What? Which what is it? Which on? Which order number? Oh yeah, you got to charge bench fees. I mean, I've been charging them for quite a few years now. When we started losing the things like the 1466s and the easy jobs, when they started to drop out, and also when more and more people came into the market, which kind of sounds counterintuitive. You would think if there are more businesses out there offering their services that you should be in fact less inclined to charge a bench fee. But the reality is that, in my opinion, you're much better off charging a bench fee, because you're going to have a higher rate of dud jobs coming in, or rather a lower rate of quick and easy jobs. Now when I say quick and easy, I don't mean they're going to be rip-off jobs. I mean, sure, someone can look at the work we do and you say, oh look, just removed a cap and he charged $300 for that. And if you just look at it blank, simple like that, then yeah, it seems like a rip-off. But it's like that story about there was a fault in a ship or something, and an engineer came in and he went up and looked around a little bit and then just tapped a hammer, and then the ship worked, and he charged him like $3,000 or something for it. And the person paying the invoice is like, why are we paying you $3,000? You just tapped the hammer once on one place and it's working. You didn't put any work in there. And the thing is, you're paying for the experience to know where to tap that hammer. You're not paying for the actual contact hours. Hey, laptop disassembly. Hey, Darko. Oh, which Mac was it that fixed? Let me see. David Craig. It was A1990. Yeah, you got to know which cap, and you also got to know if you can tap the hammer in that place, because a lot of people will tap the hammer in that place but not realize they've just broken everything else. Okay, so this is 2141, so I'm not going to power it up. We're just going to do our usual process. We disassemble it, inspect it, see what's going on. When you go to a doctor, and just having an appointment costs you $70. You haven't been diagnosed, you certainly haven't been fixed, and you've probably got more appointments to go, and yet it's cost you $70. And people sort of like, you know, that's the way it goes, the doctors and whatever, it's got to pay for the establishment. So it is interesting that there is the begrudging understanding of the situation with that sort of industry, but not with ours. Okay, it's fine. Stuff's been left unconnected. It's fine. I'm sure there's reasons. There's been melting going on over here. Okay. So they're marking here that this NAND is faulty. They've been screwing around here. I shouldn't say that. They've been doing stuff around there, okay? Let me just be straight up that this isn't usually a fly-by-night place. I used to do quite a lot of work for these people, at least until they ghosted me. I don't know why. I'm assuming they just got new staff. Okay, let's see what our... Probably going to get a beep here. 3 ohms, yeah, so that's effed up NAND. Hey Tim Steele and Yumi. Oh, what the hell? What? Okay. Slightly annoyed opinion here of them, of whoever worked on this. You notice how we've got a lot of balling out here, so they've kind of cooked the NAND a bit. They've done a lot of rework, and it's not very pretty work, but you know, pretty doesn't matter. If you can get the job done, then you get the job done. Pretty doesn't matter. But it can convey some degree of, I could say, you can sort of get a sense of the degree of the skill of the technician. It is agreeably, if they were reworking this chip, and I think on this one it's 0.9, then it would have been very hard to not have these ball out. But what concerns me is we've got balling out up here too, so it would infer that this whole section really did cop some heat. And yeah, we've got this, again, you know, a melted lock tab like that in the grand scheme of things means nothing. And so, you know, if you've got to sacrifice that in order for you to do the job here, then for sure, no problem. Just trying to get a better story of what's going on here. I'm going to take the board out, even though it's going to cost me 20 minutes. Hey Zentech, I'll be honest, a huge reason I run a gadget repair shop today. It might not seem like some... Oh, okay. What sort of gadgets are you repairing, Zentech? Where are you? Yeah, Creature, that's what I'm thinking. The backside may be balled out too, and that's kind of why I want to take it out, because there's questions that this board is raising already. Now, you've seen me work on these 2141s before, and you know that when I work on them, yeah, if we get the 60-70 ohms on the NAND, then most of the times it's dead. We still check it, and occasionally we did get that win the other night. But when you get the 3 ohm short, yeah, that's usually a dead NAND. Because typically if you get a shorted, like a VGA squeezing out, and you get a short through that, you're going to get 0 to 1 kind of thing. 3 ohms is a very kind of specific to the NAND type failure in this area. But I suppose the question is, did they make it that way through their handling? Or was it already that way and they just simply, yeah, they kind of made a bit of a dog's breakfast of it while they were trying to diagnose it? And I guess to me the question is, usually if it's a 3 ohm short, you've picked that up very quickly. And at that point, you'll probably consider doing a 1 volt injection just to see if you're dealing with a board level short, which most likely 3 ohms it's not. You want to localize where you're heading. So I don't understand why there's all this business going on around here. Particularly too, I don't think there's 2v5 in that area. I will double check, but I was fairly sure that's either 3v3 or 0v9. Enough speculating, Paul. Get it out and find out for sure. Who else thinks Alex is arrogant? Oh, come on, DefPom. He's a lovely, lovely person. You know, I didn't have a problem with that video until he got into beating the shit out of YouTubers. And to be fair, you know, some people say, well, he wasn't really. He was just trying to be helpful. Was he really? Was he really? In which case his message was well and truly not received. Like I said, I think the guy knows exactly what he's doing. You know, he knows you kick a hornet's nest, you're going to get a lot of attention, and it's very hard to go backwards with that kind of attention. You might lose 1,000 now, but you're going to get 10,000 later. He knows how to work it, and he obviously has the how do you say, the mental capacity to be able to take those particular choices that a lot of us would not. Like, for instance, I never take on subscribers. I never take on offers to what do you call it? Advertise or shill or anything like that. It's not me. About the only time I'll shill is if I'm actually using a product and I genuinely feel like, okay, I personally like this product. This is what I like to use, as opposed to them sending me it and I'm like, yeah, you know, I'll say something about it. I have received a few things that people have sent to me without requiring them to say anything, and I'm trying them out just to see how they are. And that's usually how it works with me. I'll try something out if they do send it to me, and it could be 6 months, it could be a year, and then when I'm sort of got my bearings about it, then I'll say, hey, look, I use this sort of thing. Where are we? Okay, so we're over on this side here. That side also looks a bit shonky. Oh yeah, that's cooked right through. Yeah. So they may well have destroyed this before I had a chance to actually be diagnosed. Okay, so we can see they've injected, which again is fine. What is curious to me though is that the VREG, and they haven't replaced the VREG, or have they? I can't tell. Based on the mess of everything else, I would say they have not replaced that VREG, which means it wasn't damaged in a way that would normally take out the NANDs. See, now if they had a hot spot, a grease spot, yeah, that kind of thing that we've spoken about before, then I would say, yeah, okay, the NANDs have been taken out. But it looked quite good. We've got all this business here. Let's find out what that chip's for. I'm pretty sure it could be 3v3 or 0v9. Hey, Cordos. The cues I did snap back. I snapped back in my own way though, that's the thing. Hello, Manikatan R. Okay, let's go to schematics. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Dun, dun, dun. Right, so this is what they meddled with. Where the hell's my... There it is. PMIC and VR. What? It's not the primary one. Which one? Okay, yeah, 0v9. There's a second one as well, I think, for it. Yeah, there's 1v8 as well. Yeah, 1v8 and 0v9. Alright, so they've meddled around with that. So it's possible... Okay, what I'm going to guess here is that maybe that area was struck by liquid damage. I guess I'm just going to have to try and sleep with that, aren't I? Alright, so I'm going to guess that this must have copped some liquid damage or something like that, and so they've come in and they've like, well, we need to rework this. But the rework quality, I will say right now, is substandard for what I know these people charge. Now, yeah, you're going to get some ball squeezage here and there. You're working this. It's not the easiest thing in the world. I definitely, absolutely agree with that. Even I don't like dealing with it. I shouldn't say even I don't like dealing with this area when I have to, sort of thing. But, you know, I block it over with, you know, a big slab of metal just to try and get it to calm down, take it a little longer. You can see there's been a hell of a lot of heat going on here. You can see how you've got this discoloration going on. So it's been cooking for quite some time. I'm just going to find the direct opposing corner of the board, well, I should say. Okay, so this is the area they cooked. Immediate under is that. So above U9 100. So this here is the area, and yeah, they've cooked it way too long, and we've got squeezage, which means this NAND will also be shorted out internally. Well, I shouldn't say internally, but under all those NANDs it will be. That definitely will be. Yeah. And the 3 ohm thing, I think the 3 ohm thing, it might have been there all along. I don't know what I should do from here. I don't know whether I should try and... See, now that's a filter and that's a cap. Definitely liquid damage. You can see like the pins are being eaten out of the what is that, lid angle sensor. Let's have a look at the rest of the board. So I suppose the question is, was it repairable, or did the tech just create secondary damage that didn't really make any difference in the end anyway? Overall, I would probably err on, even though the tech did ruin things on the board, I don't know if I can blame what they did as being the culprit. I would just say that it sort of demonstrated them as being probably not fit to do this kind of work. That would be my sort of thing. So if I was the business that handled this work, for the amount of money that these people charge, and like I said, I do know they charge quite a substantial chunk of money, and that's fine. But you got to demonstrate your value in the quality of your work. And I would not call this up to the financial level of what they charge. Doing this sort of stuff, like, it's one thing to get some squeezage next to where you're working. Fine, that happens. Usually you can go a long way to prevent that by removing the edge fill before you start doing the work here. But to actually get it to pop out like that on the other side, then you've gone a bit too far. So yeah, anyway, so I'm not going to do anything more of that. I will report my findings and see if the customer wants to do anything. Probably not. Because at this stage, the only real potential option, you'd have to take those NANDs off, reball them, which is fine, redo all that work, and 99% likely they are dead. Hey, Gabrielle, B-Blood, again, wait, yep. Hey, Craig Jedi, yeah, Jason, there's plenty of them around. I personally am not that skilled as a rework person. I can replace the caps and all that sort of stuff, but I can't do a T2, I can't do an iPhone CPU, I barely do NANDs, and there are people who can do those sort of things without even a microscope. They're just magic, magic. That's not my area of strength. But, pardon me, what I do try to do is to make sure that whatever I do stays within the safe limits of my skill set. Now obviously you want to try and expand your skill set so that you can do more of these jobs, or a greater range of jobs, but you also got to be realistic. So I spend a fair bit of time working on the software, which means when it comes to board repairs, I kind of have to call it quits when it gets to that kind of level. When you're pulling NANDs, pulling T2s, things like that. And I'm fine with that. And I'm not trying to get to that point because I don't have the time available to be able to skill up on that. Because if I start skilling up on that, then I'm going to drop the ball somewhere else. No, it's not even better equipment would help. Better equipment can kind of help by reducing the skill level required in a way. So like when it comes to, there's that new preheat bed by Mr. Liu, I think it is, and that probably helps reduce the skill level. And yeah, maybe I should try one of those. It might go a long way because it'll have all the presets so that you don't have to sit there and be skillful in knowing when to stop, when to, all that kind of thing. It handles that part for you as long as you get a steady hand. Hey Harold. So yeah, I'm just being realistic about what I can achieve with the time and energy that I do have, and I prefer to focus on the one area that the rest of the industry doesn't really do, and that is of course the software. There's other there's not many other competing programs out there, so I think people would prefer it if I stuck to that for now, rather than being another CPU replacement service. Okay, immediately we've got screws missing over here. Interesting, that's about the only ones so far. So what is the fault with this? Unknown fault, I love it. This is a 2179. Oh, damn it, forgot to scan the job in. Beep. What are you doing? Okay. Do you have cap locks? No cap locks? You do have trackpad. Yuck. So it's charging the battery, but it's just not coming up. But there is a cap locks there. Yucky. Very yucky kind of fault to have. Okay. Just take the board out and have a look. Battery's been replaced. Oh, that's always a fun one. A number of things that can go wrong when people replace the batteries. Sometimes, just a part gets knocked off. I mean, it's easy enough to happen. Yeah, that floating around gives me a little bit of concern. At least they didn't trap this cable under there, so that's a win. The machine itself wasn't really coming on. There was no cap locks, so I'm not sure if it is just backlight. So we'll have an inspection of the board, see if there's any parts missing, like knocked off. Why does that feel like the wrong screw? Yeah. Got slightly wrong screws around here. One of those screws is actually meant to be over here and vice versa. Yeah, they put a long screw through the... oh no. No! Can't tell. Maybe they've mixed them up on the bench. But definitely one of the screws is in the wrong place. DefPom, funny you should mention that. Someone hasn't actually attacked me or something, but they certainly... I issued a license because, I was just trying to be helpful. They didn't pay for it. But some people, if they put effort into something, I'm sort of like, well, you know what, here you go. Have a license. I think this might help. And that turned out to be a mistake. So some people just will never ever be happy, and I get that. There's feedback you get from people who aren't happy, which is very useful, but then eventually sometimes you realize this person's never going to be happy because it's not what they want it to be, and okay, we've got a fault right there. And they're just going to basically, to put it bluntly, shit on your software every chance they can because it's not the one that they want. It's not the one that they support, even though they're trying to be helpful. And I know there's a lot of people out there in this industry who do have a difficulty in understanding social nuances, communication nuances. We've got to knock, there we go, that resistor there. That resistor there is probably the reason why this isn't booting. I'm sure you can see why. So yeah, there's people who don't quite get the social nuances, how to convey messages without pissing off everybody. But the funny thing is, you can usually tell who they are, and you can compensate for that. You can tell it's just who they are. You initially get rubbed the wrong way, but over time you understand, okay, this person is just that way, and you get accustomed to it. But other people, you go, no, you're actually using this, your behavior, you're using it as a weapon. And the fact that you claim to be whatever you are, that is just your shield you're hiding behind so that you don't get called out on your bullshit. And so, yeah, I basically nerfed someone's license for being like that. Like I said, they didn't pay for it. And I just got sick of their shit. You know, the initial emails that I got, they were very sort of direct in my face initially. Yeah, not insulting me or anything, but they weren't pulling any punches, that's for sure, when it came to the software. Comparing it to Board Viewer and things like that. And I was like, you know what? Okay, that has put me on the back foot. That's kind of hurt me because I know I put a lot of passion and soul into my software. I try to make it the best I can. But I will go through what you've written and distill out of it what needs to be adjusted, and see if there's anything of actual real value as opposed to what you want, like your special flavor of it. And so I did that, and I after a while I announced and said, this is it. And then the response I got back from that basically was, yeah, still sucks. Basically, yeah, I'm summarizing there. Basically, yeah, still sucks. I'll consider using it. I've just been left it in the on the shelf and used the other program. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Go fuck yourself. I'm done with you. Like I said, some people you can tell, although it's difficult to work with them, you can tell it's for the right reasons. Other people, you can just feel, no, you're a waste of time. Don't question, just believe. Alright, so let's have a look at what this one is. And yeah, maybe I did take the person wrong and everything, which is why I'm not mentioning any names or anything like that. But that's probably the only person that I've ever experienced that kind of rage with. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we're after this one here. What is that? SPI, ATCR, TMRO. Hey, Stephen. But yeah, it takes a tremendous amount for me to step into that kind of thing. To actually finally snap and say, yeah, that's it, I'm actually taking it back. And it's not that I want them to fawn over my software and tell me I'm great or anything like that, but I do prefer it greatly if people leave out their comparison emotions and things like that. Just stick to the facts. So, okay, we've got a bug here doing this. That's all I need to know. Yeah, and that will get fixed far faster than if you go, oh, there's a bug here, it makes it really difficult, people don't want to use this because it's not right, and that's not the standard of the industry, and it's not going to compare to this. And when you start getting to that waffle stuff, just trying to, I guess people do that as a kind of like a coercion tactic to sort of make you fix it. But what they don't understand is actually counterproductive. It's extremely counterproductive. Stick to it, just being plain and simple. That's all you got to do, and most software developers will thank you for bringing it to their attention, because we know we miss everything. So most developers will thank you for bringing it to their attention, and they will probably double down and try and solve that for you even quicker because of the fact that you were like that. Personally, I think it's best on Linux. Wait, Q, who's been removed from Google? Alright, so the problem we've got here is even though this resistor is attached, we may well have lost where it's going to, and it actually concerns me greatly where that one is going to, because it's probably going to go straight to the under of a freaking CPU or something. I don't think... does Alex even have a license? I don't think he does. I've only ever seen him use Board Viewer. Oh, it's going to frickin' Thunderbolt. Yeah, this is where it goes to, Thunderbolt. Oh, that's kind of weird, because we're actually working alright. Okay, maybe it's not the fault, but it needs to be fixed anyway. Yeah, Defcom, I don't believe he has a license. And if he does, well, I guess, yeah, we'll wait and see. I mean, look, if he does, and if he's paid for it, then I'm not going to nerf it. That, if I was going to nerf it, I would then refund him. But I'm not going to do that. But as far as I know, he doesn't use it. I've only ever seen him use Board Viewer. And as far as I'm concerned, he can keep using that. Hey, Thomas McWake. The M1 Pro, we haven't actually... I'm still discussing matters with the person, because it's going to require a different kind of costing, I'm afraid. Alex is late. Yeah, when I saw him using that, it was Board Viewer, not Flex Board View. Believe me, you can really tell the difference between them. Board Viewer looks like something from the 1980s industrial era, whereas Flex Board View, yeah, it's very different, very different. Okay, that resistor is a 15 ohmer, so I'm just going to get one of those. Hughes, are you talking about Alex, NRF, Northridge? Are you saying his Google reviews been shut down? Seriously? I mean, it's kind of funny, but at the same time, I hope it wasn't done nefariously. Yeah, it's all one thing to... I'm just going to go through our box of resistors, find the one we want. It's one thing to like have an online dispute and not be pleased with what someone else says and try to correct what the other person says. Yeah, things like that. That's fine. Yeah, that's just normal life. But if people go along and actually do destructive business things, like with malice, intent of malice sort of thing, yeah, it kind of gets borderline there. I mean, it's not something I would have done. You can be amused by it, I've got to say. But at the same time, yeah, I think that just, it starts creating a escalation effect. But on the other hand, maybe there was something wrong with the reviews. Maybe they were padded. I don't know. Yeah. I did notice there was a lot of one-star reviews recently. Tim's fault, yeah, exactly. Tim should not have closed his business down. If he hadn't have done that, none of this would have happened. All Tim's fault. I have a Linux question. Thinking of how much info Google and others get knowing that Linux is more secure. If I go to it, should I use Google or what? I just use Ubuntu. I'm not sure what you mean by the security leak. Yes. You're going to message me later? Okay, I can find out what's going on there. Hey, Pierre? Human? No, it's not Pierre, is it? It's Pierre. Pierre? Like, at the end of the day, I don't even know why the hell I even got dragged into any of it. I guess the only problem was that I was, I was sort of part of the whole Rossmann, the whole Rossmann group, as it were. And I suppose that's why I ended up getting picked out of the lot. But basically I've never interacted with NRF in my life. I've never messaged anything to him, never gone on his website or left comments, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Pretty sure I saw Alex using Flexible View a while ago, so I haven't watched. Okay. I wonder if it was a free version then. I'll have to check my there you go. I'll check my licensing. Actually, I'll do that now. Let's see. I don't have anything for Northridge. I don't think. No, I'm pretty sure I don't have him. I'm fairly sure I would have noticed it if it was, if he had. So maybe he was using either a demo version, a free version, or a cracked version. And if he was using a cracked version, that would have been probably $14.99, like the old version 4 stuff. Hey, Mr. Howell. Who are we talking about? Well, the flavour of the day is Alex from Northridge Fix. He did some videos recently where he, from my point of view, out of the blue, just decided to denigrate a bunch of YouTubers, myself included, because our subscriber numbers suck and apparently we're boring, and we put him to sleep and he doesn't feel the emotion, he doesn't want to watch. And quite frankly, that's great. If he doesn't want to watch, then I've got no problem with that. I don't know why people get upset as if they want some kind of concession prize or something like that if they don't want to watch your channel. It's like, okay, you don't want to watch it. There's a million channels I don't want to watch either. So why do I have to apologize to you about the fact that you don't want to watch? Why do I have to do anything about that? You're not my audience. Fantastic. Get out of here. Go find somewhere that you do like and give them some love. Don't sit around throwing hate and shade at people you don't want to watch. What's the point of that? You want them to change? If they change, then all the people who do watch them because they like them, they'll get upset. And then we'll have this channel where there are people who aren't watching it because they don't like it, and there are people who are going to stop watching it because they no longer like it. So congratulations, you just destroyed the channel. Just let people be who they want to be. I mean, after all, he was complaining that people shouldn't be a Rossmann copy, or people shouldn't copy others. And so, well, there you go. People are being themselves, and that you're still not happy about that. Oh, thank you, Manicutton. Draco might have been that. I think the fact that I got mentioned a lot from Rossmann, maybe there's a certain sense of frustration that I received a tremendous amount of exposure from Lewis, and there's no denying that, and I've never denied it, and I've always thanked Lewis for that, simply because of the fact it was a very rare instance in life where exposure actually was good. It really was useful exposure. And so maybe he feels disappointed that I received all that, and from his perspective, I've done nothing good with it. It's like, your channel still sucks. You're still at 40,000. Why aren't you at 1 million? Why don't you invest more into making better videos that people will want to watch? Things like that. And yeah, I understand that. But the big difference is that I am not a content creator by default. I mean, for me, I'm a tool maker, designer. Primary, that's my primary thing. Secondary, I repair machines. Third, I look after cats and animals. Fourth, I'll do YouTube. Hey, Keystone. Oh, you got yours in 2019. You're one of the originals. Back when, back when Rossman was still doing stuff. I kind of would hate to look at the software now from back then. Like, why did anyone buy this piece of crap? It's how you feel about your software when you look back at it. You go, oh, I can't believe I made people make money for that. Yeah, David, that's it. At the end of the day, I'm just going to keep doing what I do. And like I said, it was more just a case of, why can't you understand that not everybody fits the same... Yeah, not everybody wants the same thing. Okay, let me rephrase. There's no denying everybody, well, as far as I can tell, everybody would like to be sufficiently wealthy that they don't have to worry about things, and that they can make choices in their life that they want to make and not be faced with dreadful choices due to lack of money. So for that, yeah, pretty much most people are very much on the same sort of point of view. But how we actually go about that, how we can go about that, is different for everybody. This is Lewis following his wheelchair video with a rant about caring about things that will never affect you. But I didn't follow that one. I saw the wheelchair one. I think it was like he was just sharing the guy's work. I didn't watch it that much, to be honest. I've sort of glanced through the videos. These are, even at 1.5 speed, I'm sort of finding it difficult to find time. Sorry, I'm just... Okay, just need to get a donor board for this. The other difference is, there's having money so you can make choices, and then there are people who actually, their goal is gathering money. Not what they can actually do with the money, but actually gathering it. I suppose it's a power play. But the issue there is that, okay, they're gathering it, but they don't know what they want to do with it afterwards, which kind of leaves them into that very dissatisfied state of life, I suppose. The thrill for them is acquiring and, chasing, acquiring, gathering, gaining, building their money stocks, not what they can actually do with the money. What's this, Ohmware? What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do wonder with those situations where people have committed suicide or that kind of thing, if there's probably something a little more behind the scenes which compel them to do that. What the... Who popped? Who popped? There's no... Oh, how did I not see you? Was it you? It didn't even smell like it. That does not smell like a capacitor pop. I heard it, but that did not smell like a capacitor pop. You can always tell. If these things pop, you can smell them. No two ways about it. No matter how good your extraction is, well, okay. All I could think of is there was a contaminant down there in the flux or something like that, and it popped. What popped a little hole? Was it the cap, or was it this? Because like I said, I can't smell the cap. I mean, maybe it was, and I just didn't smell it. Oh well, I'll have to fix that up too. Bloody hell. I wasn't even on it for that long either. The 3-letter cap. What's the 3-letter cap? You talking about this, the 33? Hey, Matt. Matt Algier. Realistically, if that popped, then yeah, fun. You try to get another one back down there without the others popping. Like I said, I'm for the moment going to go with it was contaminant in amongst the flux. It was very loud, and like I said, it really didn't feel like that cap. Hey, there's sod bridge. Oh, so we've got solder bridge and sod bridge. Oh no, it's the cap. There it is. Interesting, I didn't smell it, but there it is. You can see it there. Damn. Yeah, the spot was there. It's just a laser etch gone a bit deep. Damn it. Like I said, wasn't even on it for long. I hate those caps so much. Yeah, the 3 thing, that is just a laser overburn or something. I don't know what it is, but it's not the hole. You've seen the hole now. It's on the crack on the side. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to get some leaded in there. And then we're going to come in with about, I don't know, maybe 150. Make a great big mess. God damn it. 230 should be about okay. Thank goodness for gold wings. Honestly, without gold wings, it would be terrible. Damn it. Need 3 hands. Huh? We're just delaminating the body. Well, that's another technique you can use. And the reason why I'm not just jumping in with more hot air, like as in high temperature hot air, is because we don't want the ones around it to pop. How annoying. Could preheat the board, but Or we could just do it this way. Oh, I've got plenty of preheating options. That's not the problem. Yep, I know that resistor took solder. Okay. See that one there? Yep. Remember, I've got that heat pad for the iPhones and iPads too. So yeah, I've got plenty of preheat options. What a mess. Yeah, toaster oven at 420. I'll do it. Alright, what I'm going to do, before I bother to put a replacement back on there, there's enough decoupling there that I can get away with powering it up, see if it comes up. Hey Pro Engineer, welcome, good to see you. Yeah, I can just take one of these, or there's plenty of sources for those particular caps. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not a big fan of those caps. I don't think many people are when it comes to the rework scenario. I will say I was a little bit shocked, because I thought I was in and out pretty quick with that other part. But obviously not. The cracked capacitor says nay. Okay. $20. We had this before, we just didn't have a boot. We had a charge, we didn't have a boot. We got a boot. Okay, so we're fixed. Now the question is, I don't know whether it was that resistor that was knocked off, or whether it was that particular chip. Now, I suppose if we go and look at the chip, it'd give us a bit of idea. I was going to go with the chip. I wanted to go with the resistor, but I'm thinking that chip was actually the problem. Schematics. I haven't got the right damn board view. I've been using the wrong board view. That resistor could be the wrong resistor. Oh man, 1958. No, 1598. Jeez, Paul. I can't believe people actually trust you to touch their stuff. You're useless. Is it 1958 or 1598? It's not 1521. I think it's 1598. Yeah, 1598. They've got the 3217s on them. But even that's not right. That's the wrong board. Yeah, no, it's the wrong board, yeah. But which board is this? I'm going to say the 15 ohm was correct on the basis of the fact that... Sorry. It was correct on the basis of the fact that the whole area was the same, and they do tend to just, you know, copy-paste entire sections like that across. But we will double-check once we work out. Whoops. Yeah, 1958. It was a 1958. What's wrong with me? It's like I don't trust myself. Oh, I know what threw me. I was looking at these and thinking they were... Oops. I was looking at these and thinking they were the CD3215s rather than these, which are the 17s, but they're the Thunderbolt chips, so that's why I got myself into a bit of a tizzy there. Okay, and there's our resistor, and yeah, it's a 15, so I was right. Wow, nice one, Mr. Daniels, nice one. Okay, and this here is our little chip. Okay, it's just a 7... What do you do? Oh yeah, RSM reset. Okay, so basically the reset wasn't going through, and so it wouldn't pull through. So that's why I wouldn't wake up. What are you doing? Oh great, now it's fan spinning and not doing anything. Old? Come on, I'm only just barely over 50. It's an active low signal, I think, yeah. Yeah, we're definitely... What's going on here? Oh. That's why it was taking forever. This will catch you out now and then when it does this crap. So what will happen is the machine will go really slow and it will go black and you'll be like, what is going on? And it's because it's loading up the recovery assistant. And it takes such a long time and your fans are spinning and everything else seems to be going, but the cap locks won't come on. And so you start to have this panic response. You're like, what is going on? And it just turns out that's what it's doing. You're older, so you're allowed. Okay. Go for it. Yeah, that's good. That's just booted up just fine. It's going to hit the restart. Obviously the cap has to be put back on. That's going to be fun. Getting it back on is the lesser issue. The trick is harvesting one without destroying it. Take 2 solder tips to the capsule. No, I'm not going to do that. I know the technique you're referring to. I'm not. We're just going to go slow. Real slow. Which is normal speed for us, because, you know, I'm slow. Did have a snooze during yesterday's stream? Well, there you go. Good. Cat was in me working his sleep spell. Yeah, I frequently get called out by one of my cats. It tells me I have to come and lay down for a bit. And if I don't, he gets cranky. Okay, so this is a 1958, yeah. Right, so yeah, we'll take any of these. Whoops. I'm just warming the whole board up. Might be an idea to take this one over here. It's okay, creature. I'm only at 200. One thing I will be thankful for is that these are not the 3-legged variety, the 3-pad variety. Yeah, the 3-pad variety, now they're tricky to get off. Oh, it's such a pain with this board moving everywhere. I'm focusing down here because this is the ground plane down here, so obviously the positive side is not going to need quite as much effort. time to ramp up a bit more. The smart thing would be to have these in stock. There we go, no pop. No crack. Yeah, the cycle limitation is a bit of an issue. Right, now we just got to work out which way it goes. Yeah, when you read the spec sheet and it says to you, this is qualified for up to 2 or 3 cycles or whatever. Yeah, usually it's just 2. Well, it sucks to be you if you need more. Yeah, so we're just going to put that sucker right down there. And we're going to start on the, we're going to preheat the board, we're going to start on the ground, and then we'll apply it. I'm just going to put the part over here so we can get involved in the heating up action. If it would stick around. Good job, Mr. Idiot. There's probably enough heat in there now that I can do the solder manual method. We obviously don't want to go crazy because we might end up busting another one. And there we go. Just solder 2 wires and leave it flying. That can work sometimes if you don't need the low ESR. You really notice that that doesn't work so well when... does anyone remember probably 10 years ago with the Toshiba laptops with the NEC token cap issue? And you could try, it never worked, but yeah, you could try put a large cap with flying leads on it to replace the token, and at that point is when you realize that ESR was extremely important for that cap, or low ESR. Come here, come here, come here. Now, I might have to just be happy with something like about what I've got there. We'll give it a bit of a Joey rub. Hello, Nikotas. Welcome. Rhode Island. Oh, wait, what? I thought you were... Is there a Rhode Island in Greece as well, is there? I think we can accept that. Hey, Tony, what? Okay, I think we're good. Now, I'm going to cover that there with a bit of UV cure because you can see there's a bit of an exposed bit of copper there. Rhode Island's in Greece. Cool. Oh well, learn something every day. Oh, Neo, I can't believe you said that. Oof. I'm gonna get a copyright claim now. Yeah, Matt, those boards like that, I don't do. Yep. Yeah, I'm very happy for the relative ease of these boards. They're not necessarily difficult, they're not heavy, they're not sharp, difficult or anything like that. I've done work with air conditioner control boards and things like that, and that's about the limit for me. Most of the time when we get air conditioner control boards, it's because lightning struck somewhere and the TVS, the polyfuses and TVSs and all that sort of stuff, they're just all black mist inside the chassis. This is when I go to Greece, you only need to learn onward Malacca. I'm going to say that's probably a trick to me. There's one thing that I mentioned. Wow, is that minute already? Huh. It's one thing that I found when I went to South Africa is that they will always get you to try and say things you should not say. And so basically, if anyone encourages you to say something, it's probably not what you should be saying. That's the rule that you follow. I'm just going to give it another shot. Whoops, scratch your nose. Reverse battery terminals on vehicle ECM. Oh, yuck, yuck, yuck. Yeah, how do you even get into a lot of that sort of automobile stuff? Because most of the time, as you said, it's full of trash. What do you call it? Silicon fill or epoxy fill. And then you've got all those, as you said, big aluminium heat sinks and everything. I can't handle that, yeah. What's Brad doing? Currently soldering 650 QC quick connect terminals, 700. You just finished 700 JST EH terminals. I know the JST brand, and I know a lot of the JST connectors. I don't know the EH one. I've never had those. Where did I get the UV light? I got it from AliExpress, and you can get these with or without the battery. I highly recommend you get the one with the battery. It works well. It's very convenient. The battery lasts a long time. You just pick it up, beep, hit it. It's great. One of my good tool investments. Oh, it's too right. I thought it was a little bit too low. There you go. That answers that. The only downside with this is that the USB-C charging port, you actually have to use a USB-A to C converter because it is not a PD type one. Like if I plug this in, see, nothing comes up, and that's because it wants just a blind let's see, I can find my I thought it felt it like it was shutting off a bit too soon, so thank you for that. Saw 25k. Yeah, I can do that. Well, yeah, that's what I do with this. With some of my stuff here. It works. Where's the rest of my? Oh, there it is. Actually, I don't know what I'm doing. What you doing, Mr. Daniels? What? No, that's display. What? USB-C to display port? Really? I've got one of those. Huh. Well, there you go. Didn't realize I had a USB-C display port cable. Nope, not that one. I'm feeling like a right idiot right now. For some reason I can't seem to find the cable I really want to do the charging on this. What are you? No, you're extension lead. But anyway, as you can well tell, this is why it's such a pain. I do wish they just simply had done something simple to allow you to charge from a active source. See if I can find something in here. Oh, that's where the hell you've been hanging out. Damn it. How is it that the cables that you actually want, you never find when you want them, and vice versa? I'll try the other box. Oh, and that's where you... Oh, wow. Yep. Finding all the things that I've been looking for at various times during the week. I'm not going to shift them. Instead, I'm just going to update my mental library, as it were, as to where they were. Okay. God. Okay, I'll let you guys guess what I just did. Okay, this is what I've been looking for. What a mess. Yeah, I just needed to get this cable to be able to do that creature. Moments like this, you just want to scream. This is a brick that Jim sent me many years ago. Thank you, Jim. It was part of the infrared camera configuration. The noise was me stomping on one of those boxes that I Yeah, there we go. See, now it's charging. Yeah, the noise is me stomping corner on one of those boxes of stuff that we now don't have so much stuff in anymore. Good old capture board. I've got to put those to use again soon. Another pen. How many pens do I need? And that looks like a 1706, 1707 battery screw. Okay, let's try not kick anything on the way back. At least it wasn't the computer that I stomped on. ParaWizard, yes, this is for the hot air bidet system. If you're wondering what that is, I do have a video about it. It's a very convenient way of getting connectors off boards. So you take your quick. This sucker's going to be hot. These never really work, but anyway. Come on, there we go. There, you take your quick, you put this on, you lay it down horizontally in just a little clamp assembly that I made. I've got the wrong end. And then you have the board sit over it on the edge. The board is just on a little lab jack. That's what they call them. Yeah. These things. So the board sits on the lab jack, that's under there, heats it up, gives you two hands free to deal with the connector like HDMI port or whatever you're changing. Makes it very easy to do the job. And the nice thing is, for the Atom 862, you just need a 1-inch elbow. You do have to like grind it out slightly to make an easier sort of clip over, but it works fine. No, thank you. Will not be Captain Tape Snooze. It's like a board preheater, but it's more specific to aim at a connector so that you can get the connector out. And like I say, the videos are on the channel. You can have a look at them. Makes it very, very easy, reduces the skill level required. So this is what I'm all about. Making my life easier as a technician by requiring less skill to do something. Let's see if this lasts any better now. Been preheating with a mini-ware hot plate. Well, that's another way of doing it. Yeah. Yeah, solder bridge, it's getting a bit like that here. I've got the shed, it's a 6 by 3 meter shed, so what is that, 18 by 9 foot shed. And it was just full of MagSafe 1.2 laptop, chassis, everything. It just, yeah, you go in there and you think, okay, I'm going to throw some stuff out. And you almost never throw out much. But at the same time, you never use any of it. It just sits there and rots. I use Rube Goldberg machine to fix yeah, because life isn't... Are you trying to say that's what I'm doing? But it really does. That, the setup for the hot air... Oh, here's the... yeah. This is the holder. So you just stick the wand in there, so it's stable. Cost you $5, and you converted your hot air station into a very easy to use connector removal. Okay, I think we can put this back together. And then by the time we get this back together, it should be done time. And then I can go and have a real life. Not really, I've got programming to do, as usual. Oh, Catherine, your feline food alarm is going, eh? Hey, Rilla. You just wake up? Okay. Wait, where are the proper screws for there? Damn it. Well, it hasn't been my greatest performance tonight, sorry to say. But I'm happy that we got this fixed. I am disappointed about the state of that 2141. I can only hope that that is an oddity compared to what most of them should be like, because if it's not an oddity, then I do really wonder why on earth... Yeah, I guess I was more expensive. That's really what it comes down to. Because I thought we had a good thing going. Yeah, I thought that they'd send machines, I'd fix them. Not all of them, of course, but they'd mostly get fixed. And even a few that they thought weren't fixable ended up being fixed. But yeah, then one day, radio silence. Sad to say it's not the first company that's done that to me. I think from their perspective they're like, well, we just didn't choose to utilise your services anymore. I didn't know we had to actually sign any divorce papers or anything like that, and I agree to that. But you know how it's sometimes nice if someone says, look, we're moving to a new service, so we won't be requiring yours anymore. Just to give you the heads up. But again, like I said, you're not owed that. It's just more of it's a nice thing to do in business. Why don't I get my wife to... Nah, she's got her own hands full. It's not easy looking after all of the little rat bags that we got. And as I mentioned the other night, it's actually handy to do the teardowns yourself, simply because of the fact that you can detect a reasonable number of issues through the teardown process. Whereas if someone else does the teardown for you, you don't know whether the issue was caused by them, or you might not even see the issue. So yeah, there's more information to be gained by having the teardown done by yourself. Where I think if say I had to take on another person, and believe me, I'm not going to let myself get there, I hope, it would be that the other person also has to do their own teardown. So basically, your own autonomous unit, doing everything pretty much from start to stop, other than maybe packaging out. Yeah. Yeah, Matt, it's scary how many machines can build up, even out of your own collection. There's got to be like 40, 50 MacBooks out there in various states of repair, but it's just not worth doing anything with them. And that's the trouble. I can almost guarantee I will create more drama for myself if I try to fix them up and sell them off or anything like that. It's disappointing, but it feels like the only option in many of these cases is just destruction or recycling. Anything else just seems like it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. Even that, I'm not sure I'm willing to part them out. I honestly would rather just someone come along, collect them as a bulk lot, never to see them again. And if someone says, yeah, I can make a few thousand out of that, then that's great. That's fantastic. I'm more than happy for that to happen. I just don't want to be involved in it. Oh, creature, you're getting solar. Nice. How many kilowatt? In the part of your terrain where you can't put a fence, what about transparent polycarbonate? Cost would be a massive factor there. And the UV factor. I mean, yeah, polycarbonate is technically, should be fine in the sun. But the sun we have here is just brutal, and they do ultimately go quite yellow. And I've got some polycarbonate panels around that I've just like had in various places, and they sag and melt. 10 kilowatt, that's pretty good. Yeah. Alright. Let's make sure this actually boots again. Wouldn't be the first time reassembled something, only have it to not work anymore. Put that. Transparent aluminium. Someone's a Star Trek fan. The journey home. Alright, I'm going to have to get this person's password because this thing does a slow start, as in when the login screen comes up. It's not that slow, but you can definitely see, you know, the fill of the screen is perceivable. And sometimes that's simply because it is in this not yet booted state. It's got the login screen, but it actually hasn't booted the system. So you got to log in, and then usually it sorts itself out. No reason for it to be like that for any, there's no other reason. It's 93% charge on the battery, charging's going good, everything else seems fine. Oops. Cap locks works, yeah. So I'm going to see if I can get the password to log in and see how it behaves after that. Alrighty. Alright, that's it for me for tonight. We've got 6 minutes before 10, and that's pretty good going for me. So we've got one machine up and running properly that we can tell. Other one, unfortunately, a bit of a dead end. And of course, we at the very start did the A1990 USB-C cable port reinstallation because we just want it to be working right when we send it off. Even if it's going back to another technician, it saves them time, so I'm happy with that. So that's everything for me tonight, and I'll go and do some programming. If you want to come and join in the Discord, I'm sort of in and out there. It's not a very big Discord by any means, but some people do like the slightly smaller Discords. You can always just message, and I'll likely respond. If you've got any questions about FlexBoard View, or I don't really do much with Mac repair diagnostics work on there. It's not really my strength for doing that kind of thing. But yeah, if you want to just chat, I'm over there. Alright, I'm out of here. Thank you again for watching. I hope you didn't all fall asleep, and you'll be tested on this probably tomorrow. Until then, you all take care. Catch you later.